and some interesting things to discuss. So the first one is your favorite film in the Jurassic world. We're only going to talk about the trilogy. Obviously, the original Jurassic Park destroys the trilogy. So to be fair and to keep theme with the video, we're only going to be talking about the Jurassic World trilogy. So we're going to talk about our favorite film and then the worst film. So you can go first, ladies first.
Thank you. Well, I have to say, disregarding the first one, because this is the first one, so you can't really, I don't know, I wouldn't want to say that that's my favorite, so I have to go with the second one, because the third one was trash, in my opinion. There's a lot of just nonsense in it, and I definitely like Claire's character arc in the second one versus the first and the last one.
Okay. I'm going to say, to completely regard what she said. Disregard. I think Jurassic World is the best of the trilogy because I feel it finally shows that idea of the park running and functioning, and because I feel like when everyone sees that, we're always like, oh, what would it have been like if it actually worked? And so now that it's like a universal theme park kind of thing, I think it's cool to see that. So I'm gonna say Jurassic World is the best, and the worst one is Dominion because I can go on for days about that film, but it's just not good. The dinosaurs aren't scary. The legacy characters are just brought in just because fan service. They don't really do much. And I don't know. I know what they were trying to do, bring the trilogies together, but it just didn't work.
And what they did in the last one, they kind of should have had in the first one, where if they wanted to have the OG characters back, they should have been introduced in the beginning rather than at the end. And I feel like a lot of, reboots, requels, whatever, try to do that similar thing, and they end up kind of not succeeding in the way that they would hope.
Because definitely if the legacy characters were a part of the trilogy, the OG legacy characters, if they were apart from the beginning, and because let's be real, if this park was real and functioning, they would
have heard about it.
Yeah, and they would have been there. Maybe protesting it or
they would have been involved. You would think a lot more than just waiting till the last film.
Yes. All right, so we're going to talk about the pros and cons of Claire and Owen. What we like about them, what we don't like about them. Let's start off with Claire.
Okay, so in the first film, she's definitely more of the, serious businesswoman, all about, her job, which is fine. I'm not hating on her for being a career woman, but she was definitely had that tunnel vision of that's really all she cared about. And she's very intelligent, obviously. Kudos to her for being able to have, the position that she did as
to handle that pressure,
to handle all of that. Yeah, but at the same time, it's that's pretty much all she was until Owen, and obviously everything that had happened with the dinosaurs
and those were her nephews, right?
Yeah, her nephews. Yeah.
And I think too, you can kind of tell a little bit. At first, she really didn't give a shit about them, but then I think obviously as the park was unraveling and everything was going on, you can tell she wanted to care about them, and she was kind of. I feel like probably her character all along probably had that motherly instinct in her, but then this situation with everything going on
pushed it more to the surface.
Yeah, and brought it out and gave her a reason then to act upon that. So no, yeah, I do think out of all the characters in Jurassic World, I think she has the best arc. From the first film to the last. What I don't like about her. I don't know. I really don't. I don't think she's. Maybe in the first film, maybe in the beginning, she was a little too stereotypical. I'm the boss. I'm I think. Maybe
I think if they would have tried to continue that, I don't think it would have worked between her and Owen because they both can't be that. You can't. It's impossible to both be that.
Yeah,
without it, you have to have differences, and it just.
Yeah. So now, what did we like about Owen? O-Dog. Again, I think I'm a little biased because he is played by Chris Pratt, so I'm trying to just look at the character. I do like that he genuinely cares about the dinosaurs, but also the people, and he wants everything to go well. And I kind of like that he's kind of witty and kind of does his own thing, and he lives on the park, and he kind of he lives in a trailer or something, right? And
However, I do wish he kind of would have been portrayed a little more like not as much of a pretty boy.
Yes.
And we talked about this earlier. Well, just between us.
What we don't
camera,
like. What we don't
off
like.
camera, the fact that like the actor who played Dr. Grant. Tell me his
Sam
name again.
Neill.
Yes. Sorry. Right. No.
Comment
no,
down
no
below.
one come at
Comment
me.
down
No one
below.
come at me because I've only seen the first Jurassic Park. So, anyway, the actor who played Dr. Grant wasn't your stereotypical pretty boy, and he's not. I'm not saying he's ugly by any regard, but compared to today's standards and the way they cast, the leading males, there is a certain look that they're going for, and obviously I don't think Dr. Grant has had that or would have that now in today's standards. So I almost wish he would have been a little more like realistic looking, and again more just like rough around the edges, not so like like I said, pretty boy fit. Like.
And to add on to that, I think that later on in the series he become like, okay, I'm sorry, in the third film, I'm really gonna tear it apart. The part where they're like on the horses rallying him up, and he like ropes the one and like pulls it in. It's a fucking dinosaur. I'm sorry, my dude, you are not pulling a dinosaur. And okay, the thing that I think really my biggest con about him, besides that he turns into just like an action star, like I get it, people love action stars, they love their action boys, I get it, but like to me it's boring. But also the hand thing, that really kills it. Like I think it was cool with Blue and maybe the Raptors on like a small scale, but once like later on when you have like the clone girl and you have Dr. Grant in Dominion,
believable.
when they're all like, and you had that one scene there, he's like, there's like a T-Rex in the second one, at the second, I don't remember, in one of them, and he's like, and he's like this, and it like, come on, that's the dumbest fucking thing ever. I really hate that. Like, so I think that's the biggest con I have with him as a character. And here's an interesting thing that we were thinking about. So obviously, Bryce Dallas Howard is Claire, Chris Pratt is Owen. So if they weren't cast as them, who would you pick as Claire and Owen? So for Claire, we were discussing, what were you saying?
Emma Stone, Jessica Chastain, Blake Lively, maybe if she did like, because I do enjoy Claire with like the red hair, and obviously that is Bryce's natural like hair color. So maybe if Blake had like worn a wig or dyed her hair, something like that.
Cats.
Is that a T-Rex?
Oh yeah.
Who else did we say?
Amy Adams.
Oh, Amy Adams, yes. But the only thing with Amy Adams, again, I'm not age shaming or whatever. She is a little older and would have been older than Chris Pratt. So, but I mean, hey, if she could have did it, then kudos to her. I don't know. Amy Adams is, she's not ugly again, but I don't think she would have had that exact look.
Appeal.
I don't know. Appeal, yeah. And not even like, that's the thing that like, again, nothing against Bryce. Like, yeah, she has that appeal, but not entirely, if that makes sense. Does that make sense?
It does. And
like, yes, she's pretty, obviously, and she, I'm not.
But she's not like a model.
But she's not. Yeah.
But that's okay.
But I will say I do enjoy that about her. How she wasn't this like Barbie looking like, you know what I mean?
That is true. So we have honestly, I only see Chris Pratt as Owen, but I do. But if we had to pick, okay, we've seen that The Rock might have been an option.
No.
I wouldn't have seen the movie.
No.
Not even. No offense. I just think he's
nothing to. Yeah, no.
He's just annoying, and I just don't picture him as Owen. But I think Patrick Wilson.
The discount Chris Pratt.
Discount Chris Pratt. He could have been Owen, or John Krasinski maybe could have been Owen.
Yeah.
But okay, the last one, guys. The last one to wrap everything up. So obviously there is news about a Jurassic World or Jurassic Park 7. What are our thoughts about it? Should the series just die, or should we keep it going?
I'm going to start with that because clearly, I'm sure you can all tell by my face that I've been making that I am not for it to be continuing. I think they need to let it be, leave it where it's at. I think Hollywood in general is very much about, they want to just pump out whatever they can because, it is about the money. And, even with, the last one,
Dominion.
Okay, sorry. I know y'all are gonna come at me.
I know, but they're
I'm gonna be getting like death.
I said I loved Jurassic
threats.
Park 3 before, so the comments are gonna be.
No, but the third films are always best. Scream 3, Halloween 3,
Nightmare on Elm Street 3.
Yeah, see, so there is a thing with the third films.
Except with Dominion.
Yeah, except with Dominion. Yeah, that's where the.
So you think the series should just be done?
Yes,
that's it. Leave
because
it.
it's like, what else is there to tell, you know? And again, they already brought back OG legacy characters. They got the money they could out of that, right? So it's like, at this point, why continue something? Because then it's like, okay, if you have too many films, it's kind of just like, you know, I don't know, just it loses its magic.
It's little. It seems contained in its own thing.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna play devil's advocate here, so I understand what she says, and I get it. I think they shouldn't just make it just to make it.
And I also would hate if they did some sort of prequel bullshit, because I'm so sick of that. Because then it's like, in my mind, then I have to you kind of have to disregard all the other films in a way, because it's like, wait a second, this is before all of that, but then you already know what's gonna happen. I've never been a fan of prequels.
See, I'm going to play devil's advocate here and say that if they are going to make... I honestly don't mind if they make another one. I really don't. Like I said earlier on this video... I'm all about the capitalism. I'm all about that coin. Make that money. I want more toys. But I love Jurassic Park.
More Funkos, please. Whoever is watching this, please give us more Funkos. No more movies, just more Funkos.
I think... Well, okay, real quick. I think if they're going to continue it, if they don't want to make any movies, make books. I would love to read more. But I don't mind if there's going to be a 7th film, but hear me out. I think it should take place between Jurassic Park and Jurassic World. That little gap between there, I think it should be a smaller story, like Jurassic Park 3, less characters. I think it should be more horror-based. We want that scary, like in the original novels, which I have not read. I know, but everyone says they're... Yeah, by Michael Crichton. I think it should be scary, it should be like a thriller, it should be a smaller story, and I think it should be how Jurassic World became. Because obviously...
So, here's a question for you, because I don't know this. Was the original Jurassic Park, was that aimed for, like, kids?
No, it was older.
So it was always for... So it could have been scarier then.
It could have been scarier.
So I wonder why they haven't ever explored that then. Because I feel like the newer ones
are
not scary. Yeah, they're more family-friendly. Let's go see a movie, kids. Kind of like, you know... Not scary.
Which I think, you know, how they have, technically it was kind of a prequel-ish, but it was Rogue One, a Star Wars story. So I think they should have whatever the title is going to be, and then a Jurassic Park story, and this should bridge the gap between the two films. I would love to see that. And of course, obviously they maybe would all die because since it's not mentioned, but I think if they're going to do that, if they want to make that money, they should do a in-between, kind of like my Stephen King fans out there, the Dark Tower series, the Wind Through the Keyhole is like in-between, like that. So that's what you should do.
But when did that come? What you're talking about? Stephen King.
That's like, it's technically in the middle. There's like
when did they make that?
Oh, he made that a couple years ago after he finished the series.
Oh,
so, and he, like, a prequel middle story. And I think that's the way you should do it, but who am I, right? So...
Because I feel like, again, trying to do a reboot again...
No.
It's too much. Like, again, it's unnecessary. And the first Jurassic World only came out in 2015. That's only, 9 years ago?
And also, too, as much as she loves Halloween, I think all the timelines are really stupid, and I don't want to...
No.
I don't want to see I don't want to see a Jurassic World timeline.
I am an avid Halloween fan, yes. However, the new trilogy, you know, I... have my problems with, especially Halloween Ends.
We could go on a whole rant about that.
Actually, that's not this video.
No, let's stick to Jurassic Park. But in that case, you guys, I think we'll wrap up here. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like, subscribe. And even if you didn't, please tell me how much you hated my video.
Yes, please do tell us.
So, make sure to check out my other videos. And also, too, I mentioned in the beginning, but we did make a Jurassic World spoof, like a funny comedy.
I almost broke my ankle.
So I'll link it up there. You guys can check it out.
Yep.
And I think definitely in the future we'll probably do another Jurassic World somewhere. You know, for the lulz. If
only we had real dinosaurs. If anybody knows how to get me one.
And
slide in my DMs and Ash Loves Horror on Insta.
We'll add some clones and aliens and Lotus, and maybe this time we'll have aliens. I don't know, just throw a bunch of shit in there. Why not, right? Or actually, technically, they were going to make original... I'll say this real quick before we go. One of the original ideas for a Jurassic World, what they were going to do is a dinosaur-human hybrid. That was going to be an idea. Which, that kind of seems like some body horror. That's like some David Cronenberg,
that's
The Fly shit.
That's not family-friendly.
No, maybe that middle one should be that. And then how they completely shut it down. And then it's never mentioned because they want everyone to forget it. Horror. So... Alright guys, that's it.
Yep.
See ya.